Good boy. Good boy. You can have all of this theory explained to you 1,000 times, but unless you really learn to steal with your eyes, you'll never learn to ride. Doesn't matter how many words people give you, until you actually see and understand what you see, you won't get it done. I can't explain to you why he now piafs better than he did a minute before. First, because I'm concentrating. When I watch the video, I'll be able to tell you exactly why he piafs better now than he did before. But the point is, sometimes you have to absorb with your eyes what is happening, be able to see it, and say, oh, you don't even have to understand it 100%. You just got to get on and copy it. That's how I learned to ride. Okay, I now have his neck in a position that feels comfortable for him in the piaffe. I wanted it lower earlier to get his lower back looser, which helped. Now I've got his neck up and his lower back is still loose. He's also getting warmed up. That helps. Got my rein contact a lot looser than I had it earlier. Good boy. I also tend to treat piaffe very much as a muscle building and power building exercise. So you want to do short reps, not 65 steps of piaffe, but 15 good ones, 20 good ones, till you get the feeling that you want. Maybe you ask him to step through a little bit more. And then relax. Good boy. There are some horses who get really wild in this piaffe work. This is not one of them. He takes it very, very well. Good boy. You're a very good boy. I think he likes it, actually. Very important to keep. Now, here's a tip. Very important to keep the horse's neck supple and loose. That was something Mr. Schultheis was absolutely an expert at. He could pick up the reins without you actually seeing what he did. He would have the horse on the bridle, loose in the neck, with no tension in the reins. And if you can do that in your piaffe exercises, not hanging on the mouth, not keeping a lot of contact, but keeping the horse collected enough that he piaffes on a loose rein, you'll be much more successful in piaffing the horse than when you're holding on to him. You're a very good boy. You may notice that I'm using my whip a lot. This horse responds really well to the whip. I'm going to change the angle of my whip now and use it on his croup. Woo, he likes that. Ah, that was a good effect, yeah. And of course, logically, if you can get the front end of the horse more elevated, you can also drop the rear end of the horse a bit more. You see I have elevated him a bit more here now to get his withers up, just like I did in the canter earlier, that secret thing. And say, step under, sit down. Step under, sit down. Good boy. Okay, now this should be interesting because we just talked about rein holds. I'm going to switch over to Phyllis. Boo-boo. Hello? I'm going to switch over to Phyllis. And I'm not going to try and describe the effects on the horse. Just look, compare to what you just saw a minute ago, and see what happens now. I'm switching to Phyllis. I'm taking a little bit more contact on my snaffles than on my curbs, but I've got that wide distance between both reins on his neck. It's going to stabilize his neck a bit more. When you ride correctly in Phyllis, you will always have the impression that the horse's neck gets set back on his withers more, and that you're better able to ride the hindquarters of the horse underneath the neck and the withers. Good boy. Very good boy. Again, this horse is just learning piaffe. like he is the 110 This has been about 6 weeks of work here. Okay, he's really warmed up nicely in Piaffe. I'm going to turn him on in Piaffe now. I'm going to hit him with the stick. He might buck. Be ready. Leave your body very loose if you're going to hit a horse with a stick in Piaffe, because they're likely to capriole or kick out or do something like that. So, I'm going to turn on his Piaffe a little bit. What I want to do now is make the Piaffe quicker. Okay, I want more urgency to the trot steps in the Piaffe. I want a more urgent tempo. I want the whole horse responding quickly to my aids. So, again, this is not something I can really explain, so I'm just going to have to do it. That's it. Boy. Good boy. Watch his pelvis. Proper rein back lowers the pelvis. And proper rein back is done in diagonal pairs. Piaffe lowers the pelvis and is done in diagonal pairs. Good boy. Very good boy. There's another thing, another little training tip. Watch what happens to your canter pirouette after Piaffe work. You do your canter pirouette, smaller, tighter, better balanced, and more on the hindquarters after good Piaffe work. If you're having trouble getting accessing the hindquarters for your canter pirouette, Piaffe, a few steps into it, keep the engagement of the hindquarters, sit his butt down, and put that energy into the canter pirouette. Brr. Very good boy. Okay, that's a beginning training at the Grand Prix phase for this horse. He's only done small tour up until now. I hope that by end of summer, I'll do the Grand Prix tour with him.